also called NoHo, which I was surprised to learn today. Southwest, New Jersey Transit, all these redevelopment zones, any of these I understand could have pilots, payment in lieu of taxes, where the city gets the money, almost most of the money, it used to be all the money, instead of it being spread to the school board and the county. And it's also, it may not be fixed, but there's a 20-year schedule where you know that your taxes will only go up this amount if you live in a pilot building. Don, we'll start with you on this. Should we have more pilots?
I think we need to be very careful with the analysis of pilots. I think pilots should be used for affordable housing, but I think that, I actually sponsored legislation and got it passed the city council, so we could really look at what's happening with pilots. When we do a pilot, we should be looking at regular taxation versus, if we do a pilot and figuring out what is the overall impact, what is the long-term impact. So as a result of the legislation that got passed 30 days before any pilot agreement comes before the city council, they will be, the public and the city council will be provided with an economic analysis and there'll be time to really make that decision. And if it negatively impacts the taxpayer, then we need to know what exactly are the givebacks. Thank you.
Okay, and just to follow up again, you say we need to look at it more, we need to study it more, but what does your sort of gut say about pilots? I mean, that's kind of vague to say we just need to look at it.
Yeah, I think pilots, I'm okay with using pilots for affordable housing, but overall I don't think that pilots are good for Hoboken.
Okay, Peter?
I always say at city council meetings that everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. And Dawn Zimmer can dance around the facts as much as she wants, she can run away from them as fast as she can, but here are the facts. In the 2 years that Dawn Zimmer and I have been on the city council together, we have voted on two pilots. One pilot was for church towers, which is affordable housing. Despite what Dawn Zimmer says in her ads and in her mail, it's affordable housing. We extended a pilot there in order to give the tax abatement to maintain affordable housing. She voted no. I voted yes. I stand by that vote. The second pilot we voted on was at the Public Works Garage, which is going to be all luxury housing. All market rate and luxury housing, not a stitch of affordable housing in that project. For the pilot, she voted yes. I voted no. I stand by that vote. So when it comes to affordable housing, she likes to say that she's willing to give a pilot for affordable housing. Her voting record says otherwise. But when it comes to luxury housing, she'll give a tax abatement on that property. That's wrong.
I think, no, we're not applauding. Ladies and gentlemen, no. We can't become a shouting match then it's a competition of who yells louder in the audience. And the undecided voters are usually not swayed by hooting. So please let's not do that. I think rebuttals are in order in this particular, so let's have two rebuttals, beginning with Dawn.
Well, with the church towers, no matter what he says, I know I was on that subcommittee. It does not protect those who really need affordable housing. And we had the opportunity.
No. What's wrong with you people? No clapping. Come on, seriously. We'll spend all night with me yelling at you instead of hearing from them. Go ahead.
We had the opportunity to make sure that pilot agreement protected those who really need affordable housing, and also made sure that those, that people who are beyond, we need to look at that. So we had, anyway, the church towers was supposed to come back with what kind of affordable housing program they wanted to be a part of. Instead, the city council just extended the resolution. There is no security for the people of church towers, no security for those who really need affordable housing, and that is why I voted against it. As far as the pilot with the redevelopment agreement for the garage, that is something that I voted for, and I do regret voting for that. That was something that we had to vote. We had to sell that garage to get rid of the debt, to pay off the debt that Mr. Camerano created. And I'd like to check the record on that, because I believe he actually voted for it.
Okay. That was a little late, but that was fine. Rebuttal for Peter.
Well, the record speaks for itself, and I will say this, that on top of that clear distinction in our voting records, I find it particularly galling and curious that the way Dawn Zimmer justifies the vote at Church Towers is to point out how many of those units are occupied by people who don't qualify. So basically she's justifying her vote against the pilot for affordable housing by demonizing the people that live in there. I've knocked on those doors. The people that live in church towers are teachers and police officers and retirees on fixed income. I know the people in these buildings as well as I know anyone else in the city of Hoboken. And it's not being abused to such a large degree I'm sure there are abuses here and there. The list, games are played. That is something that needs to be looked at. That is something that should be investigated. But you're not going to throw away the opportunity to maintain affordable housing when we're losing it elsewhere because there's a BMW parked in the parking lot outside church towers. That's not policy making. That's punishing everybody for what makes you feel uncomfortable on a visceral level. It's not.
Let me ask one more question about the concept of affordable housing, which is how much